All right, so you're thinking about McHenry, Illinois. Well, whether you're house hunting, selling up, or just like to keep your finger on the pulse of the real estate market, you've come to the right place. And let's be real, when it comes to real estate, understanding fair market value, that's kind of key.
It really is. You simply can't make informed decisions without a good grasp on FMV.
It's kind of like, and maybe this is a weird comparison, but it's like trying to figure out what your used car is worth, but like way higher stakes.
That's a good way to put it because it's more than just like looking up a number online. It's about understanding all those factors that play into a property's worth. And in a specific market like McHenry, well, those factors, they really come into play.
Absolutely. So we're talking location, we're talking condition, those upgrades everybody wants.
Yeah, and McHenry's got some unique dynamics too. We're talking about a commuter suburb, big time influenced by how Chicago's economy is doing. Then there are those school districts. Man, those can be a huge E factor in driving up those prices. And then you've got, well, I'm going to call it the summer magic that seems to make houses just fly off the market.
Okay, hold on. Summer magic. Now you've got to tell me more about that. What is it about McHenry in the summer? Is it being close to the chain of lakes? Or is it that people want to escape the city when Chicago heats up?
That's the million-dollar question. Unfortunately, the information we have doesn't get into the specifics of the summer surge. It's like one of those McHenry mysteries, I
It's
guess.
a mystery, huh? Well, I guess that's where having a local expert like Michael Linton on our side comes in. 38 years navigating the McHenry market. He's got to have seen it all, right?
Oh, absolutely. 38 years is practically unheard of in this business. He's probably seen firsthand how those market dynamics, the seasonality, even Chicago's economy, how all of that directly impacts McHenry's real estate scene.
He's like, got his finger on the pulse of McHenry, right? Sensing those little shifts and micro trends that most people wouldn't even notice.
Exactly. And that kind of insight, well, it's crucial when you're dealing with something as big as buying or selling a home.
For sure. Especially in a market like McHenry where, as you said, the location can make all the difference. And you mentioned those school districts. So how much of a premium are we actually talking about for a house that's near a top-rated school in McHenry?
Well, homes near schools like School Name, which are consistently ranked in the top 5% statewide, they often see bidding wars that drive that FMV up by a significant amount. Sometimes you're looking at 10–15% compared to similar homes in other parts of McHenry.
Wow, 10–15%. That's not insignificant.
Hmm.
It really highlights how those hyperlocal factors, those little things, can make a real difference. I mean, a few streets shouldn't have that kind of impact on FMV, but, here we are.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? And, that's just one example of how McHenry's unique, I guess you could say, quirks really play out in the real estate market. It's like this dance between location, schools, and then you throw in Chicago's influence, and you've got a pretty fascinating landscape for anyone looking to buy or sell.
Speaking of Chicago, let's dig into that connection a little bit more. We've touched on it, but for someone who might be new to the area, what does it actually mean being a commuter town? Paint us a picture.
Okay, so picture this. You land your dream job in downtown Chicago, right? But those city rents, ugh, they're scary. So McHenry starts to look pretty good. It's quieter, a bit more laid back, but you can still get into the city for work.
So you get, like, the best of both worlds.
Exactly. The access to the city, the opportunities, but with that tranquility of suburban life.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. But how does this whole commuter thing actually play into McHenry's FMV? What's the connection?
Well, it creates this ripple effect. Like, say Chicago's job market is doing really well. More people are going to be looking for that suburban escape, right?
Right. So demand for housing in McHenry goes up. And when demand goes up,
Prices follow. It's like a seesaw. Chicago's economy goes up. McHenry's real estate market follows.
you could say that, yeah. But it's not always that straightforward. McHenry has its own thing going on, remember. Those school districts we talked about, the seasonal changes, it's all part of the equation.
So trying to time the market in McHenry, that's got to be tough, right? Almost impossible to predict the perfect moment to buy or sell.
Pretty much. And that's where having someone like Michael Linton in your corner can be so valuable. He doesn't just see the market trends, he sees how those trends interact with, like, McHenry's personality.
He's got that secret decoder ring. He can crack the McHenry real estate code.
Something like that. He can look at a property and see the stuff most people wouldn't even think about. Future development projects, changes in those school district boundaries, you name it.
Okay, yeah, that's not something you're going to find just browsing listings online. It's like you're saying before, it's about the story behind the numbers, right? Absolutely. And speaking of stories, We mentioned that Michael specializes in working with sellers, and that's fascinating, especially in a market as closely tied to Chicago as McHenry is.
It is. So what are some of the unique, I guess, challenges and opportunities that sellers face in a market like that? It seems like timing would be everything.
Oh, for sure. Imagine trying to sell your house, right? But Chicago's job market takes a hit. What happens? Potential buyers, they get cautious. They're worried about their own jobs, their finances,
Right, that makes sense.
and that can create a buyer's market, making it tougher for sellers to get their asking price.
Like a domino effect. Economic uncertainty in Chicago ripples outwards, and suddenly buyers and sellers in McHenry are feeling it.
Exactly. But on the flip side, when Chicago's economy is doing well, you might see more competition among buyers in McHenry, bidding wars, even a seller's market.
It's like riding a wave. You've got to know how to navigate those ups and downs. And to do that, you need someone who gets not just McHenry, but Chicago too. Someone who can see those shifts coming.
You got it. And that's Michael's expertise right there. He gets how those markets are connected, and he uses that knowledge to help his clients, actually achieve their real estate goals.
So it's not as easy as just sticking a for sale sign out front and like waiting for the offers to pour in.
Nope, not in a place like McHenry. It takes strategy, timing. You got to understand what buyers are looking for.
It's a bit of psychology too, right? Knowing how to like showcase a house, make those features stand out for people who want that McHenry
Oh,
lifestyle.
100%. You got to get people feeling it, not just seeing numbers on a page. Imagine you've had a long day in the city and you come home to your own little McHenry oasis, maybe take a walk along the Fox River, have a barbecue with friends in a big backyard.
Okay, now that sounds nice. See, that's what I'm talking about, selling that feeling.
Right.
That's what people really want.
That's it. And that's where someone like Michael, who really knows McHenry and loves working with sellers, that's where he shines. He can help tell that story, make sure your property is positioned right, and find the right buyer.
He's more than just a real estate agent then. He's like part storyteller, part strategist, maybe even a little bit therapist thrown in there for those, those emotional moments that come up when you're selling a house.
That's a good way to put it. Selling a house, it's a big life event. It's about new beginnings and making sure everyone comes out feeling good about the decision.
Couldn't said it better myself. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today in our McHenry Deep Dive. We talked about fair market value, those things that make this market unique, even stumbled across a couple of mysteries along the way.
We did. And while there's always more to learn about this crazy real estate world, you've got a better understanding now of what makes McHenry tick.
And don't forget, if you're looking for more personalized advice, you can always reach out to Michael Linton directly. Give him a call at 312-612-1031 or check out his website, McHenryAgent.com.
Exactly. Whether you're ready to jump in headfirst to the McHenry market or just dipping your toes in, remember, knowledge is power.
True that. And on that note, we're wrapping up this deep dive into McHenry, Illinois. Until next time, happy house hunting, everyone.